Good Sunday afternoon. Welcome to our neck of the woods. Give it a couple minutes if you guys want to come on in. If not, this is good. If we don't get a lot of feedback today, it's okay. We're gonna have a nice little short.
Shows the amount of people come in.
Oh, thank you.
Just so you know.
Yeah. Gonna kind of keep this short and simple. In the description on the YouTube channel is the promised resource list that I've been talking to you guys about. A bunch of stuff on there, a bunch of people that I've learned from. And hey, RD. So that resource list is in the description, and it's going to have a bunch of links to a bunch of different things. Some of them are links to channels, and some of them are links to specific videos, but their channels are packed full of information. So I highly encourage you to check those out if you are interested in learning more skills. Hey, Silver Salmon, Mr. and Mrs. So we're gonna let a couple people get on here.
Just thinking about no. I was thinking about last night.
Yeah, I was gonna talk a little bit about that. Afternoon, Kathy. So yeah, I wanted to post that resource link for everybody. You're gonna have to do a little bit digging. Most of the channels that I've listed there cover a multitude of things. Like, so I've got them kind of generically listed under cooking and canning and plants and edibles and this and that and the other. But each one of those channels covers more than that one thing. So I just try to help direct people to them, and then you guys can go in and look around and do a little bit of research and find information. Work in progress. Good afternoon. Good Sunday afternoon. So I'm going to be really frank here while we don't have that many people on yet. And I'm going to say, wow, mad respect to all the YouTube content creators. I did not realize how exhausting this was going to be for me. Because it is. I haven't talked this much. I haven't talked as much as I have in the last 6 days in probably the last 6 months. And wow. So just kudos to creators, because they do an awesome job. Oh, right on, Silver. Where is he on? Is Mark B then on YouTube? Let us know. I can't chat back with you guys right now. I'm not that coordinated yet, but I'll talk to you. So
we can see, that's the thing. If we're doing it, we can chat from here.
Oh, we can. Oh yeah,
if we're
cool.
in somebody else's show, we have to go out.
Right on. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll put the studio link here. Anybody want to come in and chat? You're welcome to. We can talk about whatever you like.
I gotta go do another fence post. I'll be back in a little bit.
We'll probably post some pictures or something of the new gate going up, or the gate being up. Yay! Just one step closer, right? So I know I titled this a little strange today, but so Liberty last night, he was really, really bothered, and I just want to say, I mean, and I think all 4 of us agree, right? All 5 of us agree. You know, you love thy neighbor as thyself, right? You love your people like brothers and sisters. And if you've had brothers and sisters, man, you fight like cats and dogs growing up. You don't really get along usually until you're older, and sometimes you don't then either. So you still love them. They're still your siblings. They're still family. So and I watched Ken Carson's Sunday afternoon video today, and if you haven't checked him out, go check him out. He is amazing. And what I wanted to say is Mike over there at Liberty Nation is a good man, and you can disagree with me, I don't care. But any man that reaches his hand out to a fellow man, regardless of belief, instead of kicking them when they're down. I think that's a good man. And I like what he's trying to do, and I like how he's going about it. And I really feel like, man, Liberty Warriors rock, because there's so much love over there. Complete strangers, right? But we're not. We're really not. And you get to know people quite a bit, you know, through chat and stuff. Sometimes maybe a little bit better than you do in person, because you get to see little bits of their personality that come out. So just a thought, just food for thought. I'm not going to cross a lot of that. And then I'm probably going to do something next week where I'll post a list of like other channels. Just go sub, check them out. Maybe help them out a little bit. Newer channels, people that are just getting started. And I know I don't have a grand following or anything, and that's not even important to me. I'm just trying to help folks too. So yeah, I don't really have a lot of content today, guys. I just wanted to throw a couple things up there, and I wanted to get you guys that list. So if anybody does want to come on, you're welcome to. Silver Salmon, I'd sure love to have you guys up here. I enjoyed your conversation last night over there on the Search for Truth. I know we just kept getting put in the background, but I think Mike just needed to talk last night. I think he was just hurt in his heart, and I got a lot of love for that guy. So you have a groovy day too. All right, guys. Well, I'm not going to keep you then. I just, spend a little bit of time, check out some of those links that I put in the description. And Bonnie Phelps, if you watch this later, I put in one special for you, because that lady rocks, and she teaches you just all kinds of stuff. The video that I linked for PREPSTEADERS, if you guys have never checked out PREPSTEADERS, that lady is amazing. I learned this morning how to make my own baking powder. Yay! And baking powder is a vital ingredient in making your own self-rising flour, which is an invaluable little resource. Yeah, I love Dave. Dave has tons of knowledge. Dave is where I learned about the tannins in the brain of each animal is enough tannin to tan the hide from that animal. So, yeah, I like Dave Canterbury. He's a cool guy, in my opinion. So, anybody want to jump up here? I can drop that. Well, that link's still showing. Please, somebody, you don't have to show your face. And if you guys are looking for specific stuff and having a hard time finding it, or finding one that you think is reliable, yeah, RD, that's right. You can make your own self-rising flour instead of buying it, and then you don't have to worry about it going bad on your shelf. Hey, Silver. But I can do research and hook you guys up, and just as a way to help out. If you want resources on certain things, just let me know. But like I said, every one of those channels has a multitude of things. If you check out that Jace Townsend and Sons, they have videos on like 18th century cooking and things like that. But also, they got videos on making tools that don't require electric. We have a sawmill here, and we do woodworking and stuff too. So that's of interest to me, because like, if I can have a lathe that doesn't take up any electricity while we're actually trying to transition to go completely off grid, that to me sounds like an excellent thing, because I've got my chisels. I just need a lathe, and to buy a lathe is more than what is in the budget at this point. So, and they draw, man, electric tools just draw so much power. So there are other ways and means to do stuff, and that's what I try to look for, and that's what I try to share out. Right on. Is the machine cool? I've never had a bread machine. I've made bread in Dutch ovens. I've made bread and like I'll set up little rocks around campfire, and it acts like a little oven. I've done that. I've made bread in 2 skillets on top of a stove. Uh, can I make my own what, Silver? We can do a lot of stuff on our own. Uh, there's there's tons of stuff. We just, the older the information you can get your hands on, the closer to from scratch you're going to actually be. Like I was just saying that I had learned this morning about how to make self-rising flour, right? Well, I already knew that recipe. That one's pretty easy. It's flour, baking powder, and salt. That's all self-rising flour is. But now I know how to make the baking powder, and that to me is something I can handle because that's stuff I've got on the shelf. Like baking soda, I keep baking soda because it's so useful. It's so versatile. Yeah, you can make your own lathe. Over there on that Jay's Townsend and Son, they made shoot. I wish my husband was standing here because he knew the exact name for it. Um, it is a like a rope driven lathe. It's the way they used to make them way back in the day when they were doing like missionary style furniture and like the Quaker style stuff and all that. They didn't have electricity for those things. You can even make a wood planer. You can make a man. There's so many things you can do, and it doesn't require electricity, and it doesn't require any. You guys forgive me. I'm sorry. I was up late last night, and I'm brain dead today. There are all kinds of tools and stuff like that that you can set up and you can make on your own that don't require electricity, that don't require you going out and purchasing a bunch of stuff from the stores. So that's why I encourage those videos, because that kind of stuff, man, is invaluable. Because for people that don't want to even be part of the system anymore, the people that just want to be out and be simple, and I'm one of them. I have a real passion for living the simplest life I can and not overcomplicating things. So, um, yeah, I don't even like microwaves. I have one. My husband bought me one for our like 7th or 8th anniversary. Like this real pretty stainless steel one, so it looked good in the kitchen. And he spent money on it, and I won't use it, and I won't plug it in because I don't like them. And I won't cook in them, and I won't do anything with them. Hey, Barb, welcome, welcome. Yeah, yep, Liberty. He was reaching out that hand of friendship because it's important right now that even if you think different, even if you feel different, it doesn't matter. If we're not in this together, we're not going to be in it at all. So, um, I really applaud Mike for reaching out like he did, and I feel like he sets an example, and he's a living example to the people who watch him and follow him, about how you treat others, whether they agree or disagree. No matter how different, that we can come together, and that we can be cohesive. Bonnie, you missed it. I mentioned you already. So anyway, today I was just wanting to do the resource links. But if you guys want me to find specific things for you and direct you in that manner, we do have an email set up. Uh, right on, RD. We do have an email set up now. It's in our about on the YouTube, I think my husband said, and you can drop a comment. I do try to check those. I'm not a talky person. You wouldn't know that seeing me on some of these other shows, because they get me wound up and then I can just go. But I guess I'm talky in some circumstances. But um, so yeah, I just, again, it's just information, trying to help out. You know, learn a little, share a little. And I think, heck, you guys, I really, I don't even know if anybody wants to come up. I'm gonna post this link one more time. Not trying to poop out on you guys, but this isn't going to be a real interesting stream if I keep up at this pace. The coffee's just not even cutting it. I was up way past my bedtime last night, and I just put on a fresh pot. And oh, hey Jeff, how you doing, Riddler? Um, so yeah, I just wanted to be able to share that stuff with you guys. Jeff, will you come up and keep me company, man? Because nobody wants to come up and talk, and I'm trying here. I'm really trying to help out. I just popped the link in right before you said, "Hey, y'all." If you're not up to it yet, all right. That's. Thank you, man. I appreciate it though. Uh, Good seeing you over here. Thanks for popping in. So, anybody want to discuss? Yeah, it was a late night trying to follow around everybody. We went over and helped out Southern Prepper Association. He was a little wound up last night, and we just tried to help him and got on, and we ended up being on there for an hour and a half after Liberty. And then from there, we went back over to Liberty because of the afterglow. And then we caught the tail end of that, and then we went over to the Search for Truth, which is Travis, and Liberty went over there. So, you know, we all just kind of went around made the rounds last night. Oh, Silver, you don't have to be shy. And I enjoyed your conversation last night, and I thought you made some very great points. And I would love to have you on here. And you don't have to show yourself if you don't want to. But I sure would love to talk to you because I thought you made some really great points. We try to keep this channel mostly about just like sharing old-fashioned remedy type of stuff and things that'll help, you know, uses for things that you may not have been aware of. But you're welcome to come up here and ask questions, drop information you have. There's so much stuff out there, and I by no means know all of it. Maybe just a tiny tidbit of it, but I feel like it'll help people, so I try to share it. I can drop the link for you if you would like to join us. I would be appreciative. If not, I'm probably going to end this pretty soon because I don't really like echo chambers, which is why I stopped watching like all these other and I'm going to do air quotes intel guys and went over to Liberty because Liberty is not an echo chamber to me, and they welcome a lot of open viewpoints, so I really do like that. All right on, Jeff. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, good morning. Go get some coffee and get some stuff done, I guess. Enjoy your Sunday. Thanks, though, for dropping by. Oh, the guys have our gate up on the driveway. They're working on it now. They just put the locust. They went down and got 2 locust trees and got them cut down. And now they're putting the post in. They've turned them into post, and we've got a gate to go across our driveway. So my husband will probably be posting something about that here really soon. I don't know if he's going to post like the video of them going up and down the hill and getting the trees and, you know, all that stuff. But I'm sure he'll at least show you what the gate looks like now and how they're doing that. And that's just something that we are doing precaution-wise, because in the past we have had we have a lot of scrappers around this area, and while we're very friendly with them, hey Salmon, we're very with a lot of the scrappers, but we caught some of them on our property in the middle of the night thinking they could get away with stealing stuff. So we have to get a gate up, regardless of stuff going on in the world. We have to have one up, just because they keep coming in, and that's just, we can't do it. How you doing, Silver?
Good. How are you this morning? Well, it's morning here anyway.
Well, it's afternoon here, but it sure feels like morning still.
Yeah, we haven't hit up our coffee yet. Waiting for that espresso to get done.
Oh yeah, we do percolated coffee.
Ours is
we got a perk
it's
pot.
an interesting little contraption. It's an Italian stove espresso maker.
Ooh,
It's a percolator, but
it's the espresso one.
It's a percolator, but it's not. It perks up through from a reservoir of water into a through the ground into a holding where it perks into a little holding tank, and really, really strong, really, really good coffee. Nothing like cowboy coffee, and this is a good way to get cowboy coffee at home.
Yeah, that's what we do. We have a basket, and it's. But you know, the blessing is that coffee pot takes.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what happened.
Did you mute me? Well, can you hear me now? Testing 1, 2.
I lost sound.
Uh-oh.
Restock up because we're almost out. But Grant's Juke's making coffee, Funky Boo.
I lost sound.
Yeah, the blessing with a pot like that is
How's
that
tomorrow today?
Camping. And they're really cheap. I love them. And since I'm a Butterfingers, I cannot break that pot.
Today,
I don't know what happened, but I lost sound.
I think it's Restream. Good morning, Sherry. Good to see ya.
What do you
Hey, can somebody type in chat and let Silver know that it may need to stream? Tell her to mute and unmute.
Oh yeah. Out.
I see my chat. Hold on, Silver.
Really nice over there.
Bugger.
Hopefully that worked. That's what I had to do last night. We were having problems over there on the Search for Truth when we were on.
Sound like EBS is coming here in a couple days.
Yes, sir. Ole.
You guys already for another lockdown?
To everybody new that just walked in the description.
I know you probably don't believe that, but it's coming.
In the description on YouTube, the resource link that I've been promising for a couple days, and a lot of them are to the channel itself, and some of them are to specific videos. I encourage you guys to check out the channels because they all have just a wealth of information. Hey, Liz.
What's Tamara doing today, Funky Boo?
Oh, that salmon don't swim. What's going on, Silver? Can you hear me yet? We can hear you. I just want you to know.
So do you have a temperature bridge? Is that
Sorry about that. I lost you.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, that was.
We can hear you the whole time.
Oh, of course. Isn't that how it
Tell
always
you
is?
happy we said hi.
So I missed everything once I started having difficulties there.
Oh, I was just I was saying about that coffee pot. We have a perk pot. You know, cowboy coffee is a normal part of life almost. But the beauty of that pot is because I'm a Butterfingers, I can't break the pot.
Right.
And B, that pot doesn't take any electricity, and I take my regular coffee pot camping.
Exactly.
That coffee pot travels with me, and it's cheap. It only cost me like $13 or something, I think.
Same. That's my little espresso maker. I take it everywhere we go. We pack up fortunately, we grind our own beans too, so we do have to have a bean grinder.
Wow.
But
well, you
girl,
can,
if I had to, I could get her done without electricity.
Right.
There ain't much that can keep me away from my coffee.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. So these little guys, you can take them and put them on a fire too. I would think you just have to be careful of the handle. For some reason, they put plastic on them.
You got to get one of those all steel jobbies.
I have an old school percolator, but they just make everything so crappy now. The top of it, the little knob on top is plastic. Who would do that? So you put that on an open fire. Why would you put plastic anywhere on it? But you still make things.
Hey, I'm sorry. Hold on. ARD and Silvers. Is this you two? Is this two of you?
Oh my goodness. How'd that happen?
Okay, so should I remove one of you? I'll remove one of you. And is there a better layout here? Oh, that is such a beautiful dog, RD. Oh, I want to pet that puppy and rub his neck.
Well-mannered dog.
He's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Got him from the Humane Society.
Awesome. I love rescues.
Yes, they end up being some of the best dogs.
They're so loving. They really are. I used to work with second chance dogs, and we used to do training. And I've worked with training service dogs in the first stages of the service dog training.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I love that. But I tell you, the second chance dogs are the ones that got my heart. They would just rip my heart out every time we found a family for them, because I would have kept them all if I could have.
Animals are just so intelligent. They're if you take the time and you give yourself to them and you just spend time with them, they're horribly intelligent.
I hope I didn't make you wait too long back there in the
no, you're good.
I'm so sorry. Well, thanks for coming on. Not leaving me up here to struggle alone.
I was feeling bad for you, girl.
This is Smoky, Colorado.
Oh, wow. Are you guys getting that Canadian smoke, or is that just from the California ones?
This is California and Arizona. I think there's fires in Nevada.
Ooh.
And there's no wind. It's been like this yesterday was terrible. Your view was just, everything was orange.
Wow.
Had like an orange tint to it.
That's kind of scary.
It didn't hinder us though. We still got out here and did a lot of yard work. Did some work with the tractor. She likes her little push behind Husqvarna weed whacker.
Is it one of them old style with the blades that rotate?
No, she's got a stringed weed eater that she pushes behind. This little thing right here.
I had a nice grass whip, but I broke it. I broke the handle, and the guys haven't had time to replace it for me yet. I'm a grass whip.
And then you've got these little strings you attach. But yeah, I just wanted to come on and say hi. I didn't have nothing really to say, but I heard your little plea for company, so I popped on here.
Bless your heart, man. Thank you so much. So, any suggestions, you guys, for stuff to cover in the future here coming up? Things that you think might be kind of top of the list type of stuff you want to know about? I'm trying here, but I don't know if I was cut out for this.
You're actually
YouTube.
doing it. You're out there doing it. How could you not be the right person?
Look, I'm not going to lie to you. We found our way over to the Liberty Nation, and that was real inspiring. It got me and my husband talking, like, yeah, we got to do something. We should get out there, you know, and you could feel like we had the push, you know, we had that call, and then we got hooked up with Jeff Riddle and Craig DeHunter, and watching those two, and then I came across Jeff Riddle's I answered the call video. And it was like 2 days later we started our channel. And of course we're not prepared, but we're doing our best, you know. And so the only way I know how to help is to share the information, you know, I got. So
somehow.
But
that's well.
Plus I didn't want it to be another one of those shows that's just you know, echoing the same thing that everybody else is echoing. I do my own research. I hope other people do their own research. Occasionally I might pop on with some information if I feel like it's not out there yet. But for the most part, I just want to help by giving knowledge, you know, sharing simple things that people can do without money, without big costs to themselves and stuff like that. Because I feel like there's a whole lot more people hurting in the world than not. And
damn it,
we really try, you know, we're just trying to help. We're trying to do our part.
Technically challenged. I have no sound again.
Well, we can still hear you, Silver. Here, I'll pull up the other one. See if that. Can you hear me now? Thank you, Liz. Hey, I figured it out.
Thank you.
What's your dog's name, RD?
That was Merlin.
Oh, what is life?
Awesome.
The Humane Society had named him Streusel, and we just didn't like that name. So, and we were at the time we were watching this television series, Merlin. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's all these young folk about 20 something, and but it's about Merlin and King Arthur and all of them as kind of like teenagers and stuff. And so we named him Merlin because we liked that show. And then out here in that wood pile, that stack of lumber I got by the shed there.
Uh-huh.
I was out there with him one day and I heard a kitten crying. And he wasn't really interested, you know, he wasn't over digging at it or sniffing. And Myra come pulling up at the same time, and I was like, hey, there's a cat over here in this wood. And I started digging. I thought it was in those pallets because I got some pallets stacked in there too.
Uh-huh.
And I got to pulling them logs out, and I looked down and at the ground, and all I saw was like a little white patch. And then it cried, and that patch moved. That thing had fallen down in there and was upside down. And you couldn't see a head or legs or anything. All you could see was like this little belly. And I was like, oh my God, Myra. And I pulled all these logs out. And I was trying to be careful because I couldn't see the head and I didn't want to like injure it. Oh, I pulled that little thing out of there and I was like, oh man, it's an orange cat, because I didn't really like orange cats. And,
not every time you get
if it was any other thing, I would like adopted it immediately. But we tried to give that thing away 3 times and ended up calling her Morgana. Her and Merlin are just best buddies.
Oh, wow. That's so funny, isn't it? How it works out sometimes.
But yeah, I think we're going to town to shop for generators today.
Right on. You know, they got a pretty decent generator. It's a solar powered generator, and I know those things don't really have a great history, but I can't remember what it's called. You know what? I didn't put that on my resource list either. I'll have to look that up again. It's like an Arctic frigid. I don't know. I have to look it up. It's like a cube-shaped one, but it's solar powered, and it'll run an entire like cabin. You know, I would be interested in investing in one of those, but we started our solar setup with the panels and whatnot. And we've kind of got it all tied in with our shed, with my husband's work shed out there, and then we've got our backup foods and our shelf stable stuff is all out there too. So it kind of just works out for us that way. He could explain more about it. He could go on for hours about it.
Well, see.
So, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what kind of generator are you in the?
Well, that's what's been holding us up, is we can't decide. And I was like, well, because we're looking to sell this property as soon as her son graduates high school. She just wanted to keep him with his buddies, and
right.
I was like, well, if we're gonna sell it, let's just buy one of those generators that's like just a standby generator, dedicated to the house, instead of like a portable generator. But if either one, you're going to have a use for it. So
Yeah.
But I was like, well, let's buy one of the standby generators, so it'd make it, I think it'd add some value to the house, and it'd probably make it easier to sell. But yeah, this is like 5 acres, and it's on a plateau that overlooks the Arkansas River in the Bighorn Valley. I mean, it's a beautiful. Normally, it's a beautiful area, but this smoke is just. And like what you see is all around me, so that means I'm sitting right in the middle. I smoke anyway, so it's just like I'm sitting here in the middle of a big old cigarette.
Well, you know what? I can't make a lot of recommendations. My husband's better on that conversation, but I can make one, and that is, go for a diesel, not a gasoline, because a diesel generator, you can use other fuels for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can pour like just oil, well, basically it's almost oil.
Yeah.
Diesel is just
all
fuel is oil, but it's just like in different stages of refinement, I guess.
Yeah.
And well, and diesel doesn't go bad either. Gasoline will go bad on you.
Yeah, and the other thing is, diesel engines have a better. They're a little bit more expensive to invest in, but they have a longer life. Does that make sense? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's a little bit less.
Tractor over there, that's a little diesel tractor I got right there.
Heck yeah! Right on.
I sold I got divorced in 2016, and she got my 401k, and I got a house payment and that car payment. That's what I got from the divorce. And so I was like, well, you already walking away with money, and I still, I'm walking away with 2 payments. So she got the better end of that deal, and then I sold that property and bought me a tractor when I moved out here to be with Myra.
Right on. Well, I don't know. I guess I've always been a believer about. I've never had a car payment. I like some of them pretty new things out there. Really, I like those Jeep trucks. Those things. If I could own any vehicle, I'd probably either have a Hummer or a Jeep truck. But then I wouldn't be able to afford the gas for the darn thing anyway. So what's the point? I like my Wrangler. I can't drive her anymore right now. She needs fixed, but That's my wee beastie. She's got maple tree growing up through the back axle.
Oh no.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been able to drive her. I spent about $1,000 getting new leaf springs and whatnot put onto her, and it's one of the square headlight ones. 90. I want to say mine's a 94. My husband's was a 92. One way or the other, it could be vice versa, but my wee beastie is just the bottom pan started rusting out, and I started having problems with my suspension because I used to deliver newspapers, which is 7 days a week, all year round, and I'm in the country and I deliver newspapers in Amish country, so it's all back roads, and which I love. I'm not complaining, not even a little bit. I love that. I will drive a back road before I'll hop on concrete any day of the week if I can get away with it. But so one night, my rear suspension gave out completely, and then it wasn't long after that the front did. And then so I went and I got that changed, and I found out it cost me a little bit extra because I found out that my Jeep had custom 2-inch riser brackets or something on them, and so I got that all done, and then we got her home from that, and once she got raised back up, the transmission and the engine were like this where they connect instead of, and then I didn't have any more money to get her fixed, so she sat there and she sat there and she sat there, and we ended up picking up another used vehicle for pretty cheap. We're in Ohio, so cheap used vehicles are pretty easy to find, and you own them outright once you buy them, so that's always a bonus, right? The car we got now, we got a little Hyundai. I bought it off of a cop who was selling it for his sister-in-law, and he sold it to me for $600. And I'll tell you what, I've had it for 3 years, and I've never had a problem with it. I think we changed the oil once, and I've had to fix like the front passenger ball bearing once. But my husband doesn't avoid potholes; he just, drives over them. So don't tell him I said that. But yeah, I mean, I've more than got my money off out of that car. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's beautiful out there, RD. Well, where are you planning on relocating yourself? Same area or a different area?
No, I'm moving back home to Tennessee. I was born in Lebanon, Tennessee, and my mom died Thanksgiving of 2016, about the same time I got divorced. And then my dad died last year, the 21st of November. I was like, man, if he dies because he was in hospice.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, if he dies on Thanksgiving, that would be a kick in the nuts, because that. But I mean,
my dad died 3 days after Christmas last year.
It used to really bother me when I lost a family member. And like when I lost my mother, it was really hard. And I thought losing my dad would be really hard because I had a better relationship with him than I did my mother. And he was my counselor. If I ever had like a tough decision in life, I would go to him, because this was before I knew God or anything like that. I kind of knew that there was something, but I didn't believe in anything. Anyway, that's why I thought it'd be harder to lose him. And then I had a back injury in 2018. I was laid up in the bed watching YouTube videos about Egypt. And there was a big obelisk in the ground, and I was sitting there thinking, I was like, well, how are they planning on getting that thing out of there? And it sent my brain into a state like deep thought, and I just kept going deeper and deeper, and I'd get like scared at some stages, and I was like, no, I'm gonna keep going, and
Yeah.
I finally got to God, and I didn't really, think of anything like God, like what I got to. And it freaked me out. And I jumped up out of that bed and I hollered at Myra and I said, God is real. And I went running through the house, I was acting crazy. And I was just I completely forgot about my back injury. And
That's awesome.
And Myra was like, Ronnie, you gotta calm down. You're scaring the kids. And they're like grown men, really. I mean, one of them's 22 and the other one's 17, but at the time they were a couple of years younger. And so when I lost my dad, it didn't bother me because I knew that life is eternal and he was a good man. And so he's eternally, I hope he finds his heaven. I don't know where you go when you die, but I do know everything is God's. So you go back to God, and
that's right.
I hope he's in his heaven, but I don't know what God does with you when you go. He might say, man, you need to go back, learn a few more lessons, or I don't think he completely forgets about anybody.
No, I feel like
no matter how lost you think you are.
That's right. Look, I've had a lot of ups and downs in my life. I felt like God gave up on me, and in truth, I had given up on him. And that's happened a total of about 3 times. And I was lost for a long time. And this is going to sound corny as hell, but I'm going to say it because Trump actually, I'm sorry, Mr. T, led me back to renewing my spirit with God. Do you understand what I mean? Like it took me down that path to be able to do that. And then I was blessed to be able to spend last summer with my dad. Like once a week we were able to go out and see him, and he lives about 2 hours from us, or he did live 2 hours from us. And it was really good for me because it put me back into a situation where I could talk to my dad again about it and come back to God, really. So I guess Mr. T didn't lead me back there. He just motivated the impetus for me to get back on my right path. But I believe we're all connected, and yeah, I do believe that we go back to God when we're done with the earthly plane, but I also believe that we know each other, like we know each other over lifetimes, and I believe that. I believe we have to keep coming back to learn lessons, and maybe that is why the things that are going on in the world today are going on. Maybe that's why we're finding ourselves in these families online with people that we don't know, but we feel so connected to. You know what I mean? And I think that's a good thing. I think that means that that there's a higher hand in all of this. I don't think anybody's coming to save us. I think we have to do that ourselves. But I believe there is a higher hand joining us all together and connecting us in ways that we don't even understand yet.
Amen.
Amen. So yeah, I lost my mom when I was very young. I was 22 when I lost my mom, and my brother didn't tell me that she was gone until several months after she was gone. So I've never really had the closure on that. And then I lost my dad 3 days after Christmas last year, Excuse me a minute.
You're all right.
It's just painful still. I miss him. I know he's in a better place. I'm glad he's not suffering anymore.
Yeah,
But I
I
miss
think
him.
that's what.
I wish I could call him up, talk to him. I wish I could go out and see him.
Yeah,
Um,
that's where my tears mainly come from. Like, kind of, I guess you'd call it selfish on my part. I don't know, but it's the missing.
yeah, and it's they
The
aren't in
funny
any
thing is,
pain.
I got a feeling he could hear what I'm saying, but I can't hear what he's saying unless I'm really in a spot. And then I guess it's those times where I'm doing something and all of a sudden I'm reminded of him. That's probably when he's there watching, or you
Yep.
see grandma, if you're thinking about your grandma or your grandpa or whoever or whatever, like an animal you had. I still
Yeah.
miss my old dogs from when I was a kid.
So do I.
You know,
I still miss the dog that we had when I was 3. Because I loved that. That dog was my constant companion. Saved me from snakes and kept me off the road. We lived on an old style highway in a small rural area, and this dog was like my horse, right? I mean, I could ride on her back. She didn't care, and her name was Winnie the Pooh. And I still remember her, and I still remember that the guy that hit her was driving a red sports car. And I was 3 when that happened, and I remember that man too. You know what I mean? It's just the things that we remember, and it's because we have so much love in our hearts for them. And I honestly believe that those souls, and people won't agree with me on this, and that's okay, I don't mind. Those souls that we love and that we're connected to, I think they come back round. I think they come back round because I think that we are all connected. I really do believe that we are connected. And so we've never really lost anything. We just have to wait for it to come back around.
Well, the way I look at it is God's the source of life. That means he's the father of life. And that means all life are his children, basically. And each of us, therefore, are brothers and sisters. I mean,
Amen.
there ain't no getting around it. We are all related. And it's kind of sad, really, because this earth is God's given it to us. And he's running the show about the universe and making stars go around. But I think he's kind of just giving us our own will to either follow his way or listen to the other voice.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is this earth could be heaven or hell. It's that easy.
It's what we make of it. And one person's heaven can be another person's hell. And that's the other thing. I think people forget that we are, even though we're all connected, we are individual. And so what's right for you may not be right for me,
That's
just because
right. I don't.
doesn't mean we won't reach the same goal. And I know that sounds like I'm preachy because I say it all the time, but if I didn't believe it, I wouldn't say it all the time.
That's right. Yeah, my basic thing is just kind of leave me alone, really. I'm just living a happy life. I kind of want to be left alone, and I don't want to be told what to do. And if I do so, I know right from wrong. And I'm asking y'all to trust me that I ain't out to hurt you, and I think that's what's led us to our problems is one brother looked at another brother and feared that brother, and that fear just went absolutely ape shit. And now we're just living in this world where everybody's afraid of everybody. And I'm one guy you ain't got to be afraid of, unless you come at me. And even then, I don't look to kill you, but I'm going to restrain you. Put it that way. And I'm going to just embrace you and hug you until you're tamed. And that's kind of what God told us in the beginning, I reckon, about taming the nature, you know. It's all yours to tame. And at some point, man said, well, I'm going to tame man. And the other man let him. And there you go.
Well,
but
when you
good news is there is good news is he's coming back. And that's wonderful news. And there's going to be a lot of people that's afraid of that. I pray for them. But it is, no matter how ugly it looks, it is a time to rejoice. And you got much love from me. I'm going to go in here and wake up my woman. And
all right.
I hope y'all have a great day and a great rest of your weekend.
You too. Happy Sunday. I hope to see you soon. Thank you, RD, for joining me. I appreciate that a lot.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Much love.
Much love.
All right, guys. I'm probably going to get off here too. Here real soon. Just a final thought real quick in parting. I love all of you guys. I really do. And if there's any way that I'm able to help out, I will. If there's something you need to know that I can look up for you, I'll do it. You know, I've got the time to do that. Let me do that for you. And you know, we're all in this together. We just really have to we have to be in it together. We have to realize that connection, and we have to uplift each other. Artist and poet, oh, much love to you. Much love to you. Oh yeah, who asked me? Bonnie. Yes, Bonnie, you may. Let me throw that link up there for you real quick. I didn't see it until just now that you wanted to. I didn't think anybody else wanted to join me. Artist and poet, I'm gonna keep you in my prayers, and I'm gonna be sending you lots of love and light. I'm pretty sure you're my sister. I could be wrong. You could be my brother, but I think you're my sister. This too shall pass, right? I'm sorry I was teary-eyed there. It's just still a little raw. Bonnie, I put the link up for you if you'd like to come in. Yeah, it's the only way forward. You're right. You're right. Yay! Hi, lady. How are you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay.
Did you see all the links that we popped into the description for you?
Yes.
Well, not just for you, for everybody. Those are just resource links. But I watched the one this morning and I put for Bonnie in parentheses because I was like, ooh, she's going to love this.
In the description? No, ma'am, I did. I'll have to go back and look.
Yeah, I put the resource links that I've been talking about for the couple of days here. I went ahead and I gathered a bunch of them together and I threw them into the description on for today's show so that you guys could go check those out. And some of them are links to the channels and some of them are links to specific videos. Can you hear me? Hi, Raina, my daughter. So
I think I got it. Did all that stop?
Did what now?
It was echoing really bad, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if that's me or
No,
has
it
it
was
been echoing this whole time?
yes.
Gosh, I
It
really
was
hope you
just
guys
me.
tell me. Oh, okay. I really hope you guys tell me if I'm really that bad.
No,
You
this
know, we
is
live
all
out
so
in the
new
States.
to me.
Well, I'm glad you came up to join me today. I love
Well,
seeing you every day. It's wonderful.
thank you. I like seeing y'all too. And you noticed I was just following everybody last night, and I looked at my clock and I said 2:30 in the morning. I have got to go to sleep.
That's at 3 o'clock. I told my husband, I said, we got to get off here. We were over on Search for Truth with Liberty and Travis, and Silver Salmon was over there, and a bunch of people were over there. And boy, howdy, I'll tell you what. At 3 o'clock, I said, no, we got to get off here. One of us has to get up with Raina in the morning.
But what y'all were talking about is so true about the community. I know this sounds crazy, and I've told people that I'm addicted to YouTube, but there's so many good people out there that think the way I think and feel the way I feel. But and I know that God has brought us together. I have seen just too many. I see too many out there suffering. We're all suffering from something or other, whether it's physical, mental, just dealing with what's going on.
Yeah.
Like I told you 2 years ago, I was completely blind, and I was in my deathbed, and I knew it, but I
Wow.
felt peace because I knew where I was going, and I knew who I was going to see. But my girls said, nope, not yet. And they pulled me out of it. My daughter and my granddaughter just force feeding me. I weighed about 80 pounds. It was really bad. But by the grace of God, here I am.
Yeah.
And I know my purpose is getting everything prepared for those girls. I've thought about moving. I'm right on a major highway and I hate it. And, you know, I'm in Texas and we have all these people coming in and I'm right here seeing it. And it's scary. It's, so my job is to make sure everything is secure, everything is planned out before I go. I want
I
them
get you.
in good shape and learn what they learn from me.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think, I have two adult sons as well as my little one. And I try, but they think mom's crazy.
Well,
Mom's just crazy.
luckily I have 6 kids and 8 grandkids. And luckily they all are on the same page. We all see what's going on, and maybe it's because we're Texas, I don't know, but so far as I know, they have all been against all the
Stuff.
requirements.
No, that's good.
Here.
That's good. So, and I'm not trying to be nosy or to put your business out there, and you don't have to tell me, but I'm going to ask: Is there
I'm an
a
open.
specific area you're looking to relocate at or relocate to?
Well, what happened is my second son, uh, he partnered with some other people and they opened a big meat processing plant. And it's the first USDA one in Texas for 40 years. And
Wow.
so he's kind of in the middle of nowhere. And so I was thinking, that wouldn't be a bad place to be. And the property's cheaper there. Where I'm at is too close to cities to commute. And I I had said on one of the other channels, somebody was saying they never heard of the Texas White House. Well, it's right up the road.
Yeah, I have.
And yeah, so my two youngest daughters, they grew up out there. My ex-husband um, works for the National Park Service, and so but that highway has become just like Napa Valley. There are over 100 vineyards
Wow.
all the way. And so property has tripled here and rent has tripled. Um, it's just getting too expensive and too crowded. And it's, we have like 1,500 population, but uh, it's going to whack me. um, you, most of the people you don't even know anymore. And
Yeah.
so it's real hard to reach out and see who you can trust, not trust. You know, uh, I don't know his real name. Uh, Patriot, Southern Patriot Association.
Mm-hmm.
What he's talking about, and others have talked about building a mag, and
Uh-huh.
and I don't I don't see the ability to do that here with people outside of my family, my
I
immediate
see what
family.
you're talking about. Yeah.
So
And then if you're that close to a city or to a big area where you've got influx of people, which Texas, right? So uh we had a couple planefuls show up in Toledo, Ohio. I'm not near any big city whatsoever. I'm like I can't do city. I don't even drive in the city. I won't. My husband, if we have to go to the city for any reason, my husband's driving, and chances are I'm not going. So that's
well,
just, you know.
I would rather drive, but uh, yeah, it's like I told you the other day, it's crazy. I mean, it's um, people cut you off, and then they're sitting there doing hand signals and yelling at you like it's your fault. And um, it's even scary to have a United States flag on your car because
Yeah,
people get
it's
shot for
almost a
that.
political affiliation at this point.
Yes, and it should not be that way. I don't know what
No,
happened
I agree.
to make it all political, but it is.
Well, it's unfortunately it's the state of our world, and I don't like the state of our world. I like
Yeah,
the state of the world that I'm choosing to live in, and that is building a community, like you said, like we have. And if you can't think that there's a higher hand involved, you know, I don't know what else could be. So
exactly.
I really believe that, and I'm really thankful for it because I'm a little like RD. Just leave me the hell alone. I can make my own decisions. I'm not out. I won't bother you. You don't bother me. And
And
but
listen,
now it's, you know, it's a little bit different. I'm like, okay, how do I help others? How do I? And even though I'm putting myself out there, even though that's you know what it's turned into, it's I just genuinely want to help now. And so all that leave me alone thing has kind of gone the window, you know.
yeah, we can't be alone. We have to be in this fight together. It I wish I would have known all this 4 or 5 years ago before I got my divorce, because it would have gone a whole lot different. I thought I had to have a big house, big enough for the girls to be with me, and look nice, and newer car to get back and forth wherever we need to go. Well, I'm ready to sell that car. Those new cars I hate them. They are not worth the money. I got it used. I got a really good deal, but it's the push button start. It's like driving a spaceship. No, thank you.
I don't like the newer cars myself. I like old style stuff, and that's just who I am, I think.
Yes, my old pickup truck. I could crawl up under the hood and I could do a tune-up. I could change the oil. I could anything that it needed, pretty much. I could do
Now
it.
you can't find the darn dipstick. No, I'm just kidding. But it's almost that.
I opened it up. Yes, there's this big black box there, and you're sitting there like, what do you do with this?
Where's the engine? No. So I told my husband, I said, I used to be able to like work on cars and stuff. It wasn't that complicated, you know? And I can't do that. I can't do it anymore. I don't know anything about it. I'm the typical housewife where it's, honey, the car needs honey.
I don't have a honey. We have a really good guy with a tire shop here, and he can do minor repairs. And my ex-husband and we still are friends, and he works at a garage also. So any major repairs, he'll still do them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't
Go ahead.
like to leave with a evil heart. It just didn't work
so
out.
good. Yeah. Well, I wish you all success in your endeavors to relocate there. If you're able to do it sooner rather than later, I would suggest you do that. And if you're not able to do it sooner rather than later, then maybe call them up and say, hey, how do you feel if I come visit for a week? I'll come out tomorrow. And I say that because we all feel like something big is going to come down this week. So at least get where you need to be before that goes down, you know. Even if it's just as a visit. And I wish I'd had enough time to say that to Mike last night, but he was concerned with other things, you know. And but boy, I wouldn't do that to him. I don't think in front of a large group anyway, because I wouldn't want to put him out there like that. But I worry about him and Noah. I want them to get to Idaho before this stuff happens. That way he can be where he needs to be, you know.
But you know what? That kind of puts a pressure, because that's 2 days ago. I lost it. I just lost it. Whenever I said, can't do it, when you invited me up on stream. And I know I shouldn't be, but because of still being so weak and unable to do so much, this stuff going around, it scares me pretty good. Where y'all going? Okay, love you. Sorry.
No, you're good.
But feeling like I need to do this now because something's going to happen, and it got really overwhelming. And so I sat down with the girls last night and I said, all right, y'all, what are we going to do? Are we staying put? What are we going to do? Because I showed them what was available up there. And my granddaughter's like, they both really love their job. Got really good jobs, and thankfully they're still open so far. We've been hit pretty hard around here, so I don't know how long it'll be open. So I'm preparing for that also,
Yeah.
financially needed. If I have to sell that spaceship car, I will. It doesn't bother me, but because they both have a car too.
Right.
It's just so now it's like, okay, if we're staying here, then we need to stock up some more because we've kind of been tapping into it. And before Texas, I have not seen a shortage here like everyone else is talking about. Thankfully, I have not seen that yet, but I have heard it is coming. So
Yeah.
that and home security, I want to somehow uh, get some kind of security, more security outside.
I
We
will.
have,
I have some people that I watch that you can set it up pretty easy yourself.
hey,
Pretty.
can you bring me my
Go ahead.
water, pen and paper? I always forget to bring a pen and paper because you are a world of information, and I gotta write it down.
Thank you, hon. I'll post it. I'll post it for you. I gotta look up the link. But there's a fellow that we were watching a while back about, being able to set up your perimeter and stuff. Southern Prepper One is real good for that. But if you were to do like, if you were to look up Prepper Home Defense or Prepper Security, Home Security, or something like that in YouTube, you would find a wealth of information. There's this one fella who set up like tripwires on the outside of his property with shotgun shells. And another fella did it with firecrackers, and they were blanks. They wouldn't have heard anything, but they were loud enough to let you know that something was in the perimeter. So even something like that is useful, right? So, yeah,
But we
Pam,
do have a lot of game that would set it off.
Well,
Well,
sort of like where your steps are going up.
Yeah, they're different. I'll find the video for you, hon, and I'll post the link in tomorrow's description for you, and then or later in my husband's if you want. And then you'll be able to pop over there and check it out. And there are all different kinds of ways that you can, set up small things just to know. And we have a lot of game around here too, but there's still things you can do even with heavy game trails through your yard and whatever.
Yes.
And just so you know, there's a ton of information on YouTube. You just gotta. It's like jumping down a rabbit hole. You find that one first little breadcrumb, and then you have to follow it, and eventually it gets you to where, like, oh, that's the one that'll work for me. You know.
And I saw this one lady, I think it was a lady, someone in comments, they said, we've got our electric fence up and the sprinklers are ready. And I was like, oh, sounds good.
Good idea.
That is a good
idea.
idea. That's a great idea. Yeah, so there's
Not
all kinds of stuff. Right.
Nope.
Yep.
And you could probably even do when you're talking about like any kind of like tripwire or anything, you could probably even go a little bit better than that and pick up some sodas, like glass bottle sodas. They still sell them everywhere in the country. Sometimes you have to look for them, or glass bottle beer, but anything under pressure like that, and then you set your trip for the cap to pop. Just an idea. Well, I'll get some links together for you for tomorrow.
I know. I told my daughter, I said, you know how to make Are they called Mai Tai cocktails? And she looked at me like, what, Mom?
Not hard to make stuff.
Well, we won't say the real name of them. I think we all know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
Just because, I honestly don't know what gets you kicked and what doesn't get you kicked anymore. So.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. My Thai
I
cocktails
don't even know if I said it right.
That's funny. That's cute. But yeah, I mean, it's all, if you have anything, else that you want to learn about and get your head wrapped around before you feel like step, because again, that knowledge is power. So the more knowledge you have, the more prepared you'll feel, the less stress you're going to have, right? I mean, that's how I feel about it. And pray, stay in prayer. That's important too. I think people underestimate the power of that. I believe in the power of prayer. I've seen it work miracles.
The border issue.
Oh, yeah. I have to. Lots and lots.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel really blessed to have met you, and I thank you so much for coming up here today and talking with me.
Thank
we
you.
just love
I feel
you.
the same.
We really do. And you're in our prayers. We keep you in our prayers. And I think, you're already a walking miracle, lady. You really are. So, it works, right?
Yep.
So, again, we can't live in the spirit of fear, and that's just how it goes. If you're in fear, then you can't react, you can't act, you can't do what's necessary. So you got to shed that, and you got to get rid of it, and you got to say, okay, I know what to do. I know what to do in this situation. Step 1, step 2, And
I want to react. If I could have been in January in that place, I would have been. If I could be out on the street carrying flags or whatever, I would be. It's really frustrating not to be out there just
I
this is
understand
not
that.
happening. This is not happening.
But
I
I'm gonna
would
tell
be
you
at the
something.
border. If I could be at the border, I would sure be at the border.
I'm going to give you a little something, and hopefully it eases your heart and a couple other people out there, because I know there are a lot of warrior hearts out there who would do it, but their physical bodies won't comply, right? Or their physical circumstances won't comply. And that warrior heart, every night before I go to bed, I'm just like, God, here's my energy. Take it, put it to use wherever it needs to go, because that's what I can do and that's what I can give. And I do that because I feel like it's either going to provide healing for somebody, or it's going to provide energy for somebody to keep fighting the good fight. And even though I can't stand shoulder to shoulder with them, I'm there in spirit, quite literally,
Yes.
So that
I'm sorry.
it just gives me a sense that I'm in the battle with them. I'm not just a keyboard warrior. I'm not just behind the scenes on it. I'm trying to lend my good works to to help too. So
You
that's
are.
what I can do. And a warrior heart will go a long way. Don't forget about it.
Yes. Am I allowed to mention another?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Have y'all seen Ark Wild Men Survival?
What is it?
Ark Wild Man Survival.
Yes. Yep.
He's a good
absolutely. If you guys want to plug channels while you're on here, you're welcome to. Okay, because that's part of that's part of this. We got to share everybody out so that we can help other people. And if I don't know all of them,
knowledge is power,
and I can't remember all of them.
Yeah, he's real good
Yeah.
with dance, and he does He does everything. I think he's Native American because he does the skinning hides. He makes medicines. He just he does carving out of nothing. I mean, well, he's rich in that's what he's rich. He's rich in land and family.
Right on. Those are kind of
And
important, I think.
very, and of course, he's very strong in God too. So,
Yeah.
yep, he's very blessed.
I think people underestimate the power of being rich in spirit,
Yes,
over rich in coin. And I was talking about that yesterday. I think when we were over on the Southern Patriots Association, isn't when we were over there last night talking with him, I said the same thing, man. I would love to go back to the barter system. I think the barter system, because there's always something to barter. You can barter your time, you can barter your knowledge. You don't have to have a physical thing or a skill in that sense, but you can always barter. You know, there are things more valuable in this world than things.
this is true, and that's what I told the girls. I said, you know, those that they sell to camouflage. I said I can make those. Just get the helmet, get some clothes, and I can fix them to where you're camoed. And they're just like, you would do that? And I said, yes. Anything I can do like that. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
But
So what was the name of that channel again? B-Dog was asking for the link, and I was going to look it up for him real quick and pop it in chat.
Ark Wild Man Survival.
Ark Wild Man Survival. Okay. Give me 1 second here. Is he got short hair?
Yes.
Okay, I think this is him. All right. Hold
Got a
on a
lot of
moment. We'll go ahead.
Sure. They might be blocking the word survival.
Yeah, even shows you what to do with a snake.
Let's see here. Does he do exercises and stuff as well?
No.
Okay.
He does
That's
walk.
not him. Oh, Mark. Why Mark?
What is it?
Ark Wild Man. Hold on
The
here.
A and the W are capitalized.
Dang it, it did it again. You see that?
Yep. Just take that out and hit enter.
I'm sorry, guys. Give me a minute here. There we go.
You got it?
He got
He got a fox skin for his icon
over his head.
Oh, that's when he was, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a coyote.
A coyote. I have glasses on, but that doesn't mean I can see.
Right.
I'm
I
just saying. Let me put that out there.
Blind in one eye. Can't see out the other.
My eyes have gotten progressively worse in the last couple months. I'm in the last year. This last year has been really bad.
Glasses.
I used to have like eagle eye sight, man. I could see stuff way off, and I'm an avid reader. I'm a bookworm, and in this last year, I've gone from being able to read the tiniest of print to not being able to see it at all. And I don't know,
Yeah.
it's a little strange.
Well, I think we all need one of those things remote viewer has.
What's that?
I think we all need one of those things remote viewer has. He's got that
Oh,
big
I know. I
magnifying
love that
light up.
that light that you got. That's
Yes.
awesome. I could use that to paint with too.
Yes, a lot of things. I was making jewelry and stuff. But,
Do you do dream catchers at all?
you know, I've thought about it. I have the stuff to do it, and I wanted to get into macrame also because
I love
um,
macrame.
just because that's a good form of throwing up a hammock where you need it, or it's useful.
Yep. Yep.
But
Macrame is excellent to learn. It's the same. If you've ever done those little friendship bracelets, it's just knowing your knots. It's knowing what's a half square and what's a square and how to put them together. That's all.
that's what
That's
I
all
was thinking.
macrame is. And dream catchers. The thing about dream catchers, and I won't buy cheap. I won't just go to the store and buy a dream catcher. I won't buy a pre-made one because dream catchers, as far as I understand it, in Native American culture, were a representation of every bead and every feather on the dream catcher represented some bit of a person's life. So, um,
And there's spiritual that goes into it also.
exactly. So, like, if you're going to, I feel like I was just going to say, if you're going to do those, I completely, totally support you. You should do them, but maybe offer custom. That way, because I think there's so much more that goes into something like that. And it's worth so much more when more goes into it than if it comes off of a factory line. And I think we're coming to a point in our world where people are starting to realize that, you know.
We need to get back to the
She
1800s.
did. She was having a problem. She was up earlier.
But she figured out she needs YouTube.
Yeah, I feel like going back to a simpler way of life. Everybody talks about 1776, and I'm kind of like, well, yeah, but not in the same sense you guys are talking about. I don't want bloodshed and
Yes,
gunfire. I don't want sulfur to sting the air. I don't want
but
that. I really don't wish that on humanity.
yeah,
However, I love the simpler way of life that they had back then, and I feel like that that kept us more connected, not only to each other, because you had to depend on your neighbors and you had to depend on others in certain
right.
circumstances. But I think that it gave us a better connection with the earth, and I think it gave us a better connection with our spirituality. I think it gave us a closer connection to God to live a simpler life in those means. And that's how I feel.
I understand that, but I kind of think we need the technology to compete with our enemy,
Oh, I
not
agree with
not
that
here,
too. Yeah,
over
I
there.
have that's a multifaceted subject for me because I can completely see the relevance of the advancement of technology, right? And I can see how a lot of it was designed for good, and a lot of it was, but
Yes,
the wrong people got a hold of it. It is now being manipulated, and it is being used against us.
yeah.
And I
I'm
think we
telling
don't. Go ahead.
that that Texas freeze, that everyone keeps saying yes, it happens every 15, 20 years. And yes, I've seen it freeze, but it's usually a gradual work up to it. The week before that, we were at 80 degrees. And Sunday, we were at 5 degrees. That that absolutely was not normal. And the snow wasn't normal. It was, I don't even know how to explain it because I was going to make the girls snow ice cream and it just, it wasn't right. And I saw where people were saying that it wouldn't burn or that it did burn.
Yeah.
And they were having the same problems getting it to melt. And it just, There was something really odd about it. And then the next week after that, up to 70 again. It
That's
was too
yeah.
weird.
We know there are things going on in this world that are beyond the scope of some, and
Yep.
I'm gonna say this real quick, and people think I'm a little crazy for it, but I'm gonna say this, and everybody says, okay, I believe in God. Most people that are die hard this or die hard that, they're like, I believe in this one thing, but I don't believe in this other thing. And my answer to that has always been, if the Creator created this wondrous world, right? Created the
Right.
earth, which we know has its own heartbeat, created the rocks, the trees, the streams, the birds, the fish, the animals, and us. Why couldn't he have created aliens and other life forms too? Because there's an entire solar system out there. There's galaxies. There's, we know those things exist. You're gonna tell me that you don't think he could have created them too? Wait a minute. You know.
Right.
So that's how I feel about that. But it's.
Well, I did
I
see
feel like
where
it's
we need
important to
that.
keep an open mind. And, what's that?
I did see where we need that. That even the other planets, that they have something to do with controlling the rotation of the earth and keeping it like it's supposed to be. But I don't believe in anything that is manipulating God. If it's God's will, it's God's will. And if it's something he created, excuse me, we should never try to change it. The cloning, the test tube babies, those things, I just, no, that's going too far. You cannot recreate a human. I just,
I'm with you. I'm with
I
you.
think
It would be
going
soulless.
too far.
I feel like only a creator is the one that creates the spirit and the soul of a thing, of anything, that living life force of a thing. And that's the bit that you can animate anything, right? Like, we can do it on paper. They people talk about the clone stuff, and I understand there's a lot of hoo-ha out there and a lot of misinformation, and I'm not sure I believe all the clone stuff, but I will say this: they cloned a sheep in the 80s and told us about it, right?
Right.
You know how much stuff they haven't told us about, right?
I know. And now they're
So
pushing this lab meat,
I'm
trying to get us to eat it. No.
right. So I mean, it's just critical thinking and discernment are vital, but you can't discount everything just because it sounds ridiculous, because a lot of this stuff you have never been told. Your parents were never told, and at that point, let me go ahead and throw in, your grandparents weren't told. They've been indoctrinating the human race on the planet Earth for more than decades, for generations. And it's just finally gotten to the point where it's out in the open enough to be ridiculous, and people are finally going, wait a minute, we're not going, nope, there's the line right there, buddy. And but it's taken Pam, basket weaving. I love basket weaving. Try it with Patty Ninetail reads first, and you'll be happier with your results, and it'll give you confidence to go further. It's actually pretty easy. It's really fun though. But yeah, I tell you what, if you believe in God and you believe God can create many things and that He created us, then you gotta bear in mind that other possibilities are out there. And if you believe in God, then you know that devil, he's out there too. All right, and he's doing his own wicked ways, and they're soulless. the things that they are creating on that other side are soulless. And what's that thing we always used to say? The windows are the eyes to the soul, or the eyes are the windows to the soul. Boy, I messed that up.
Yes. Yeah.
But
If you look at Potato, his eyes change colors.
yeah, so I mean, none of us
Kind of
knows
weird.
unless we go up and do a Scooby Doo thing and whatever. But none of us knows for sure. But if you completely discount it as ridiculous, I think you may be fooling yourself, because they have told us they have cloning technology. They did it 3 decades ago.
Yeah.
So what have they developed since then? And we all know that they've hidden multiple things from us, including technology that will help humanity.
Yes.
And I firmly believe that has been hidden from us, but that it does exist. And I used to say that even when I was younger, because we went from horse and buggies to electric cars. If you look at the old pictures of San Francisco before the Great Fire, right, back in the early or late 1800s, they had electric, gas, and what else? Electric cars and gas cars back then. So we went from that to computers and cell phones and all this stuff. And the Industrial Revolution, there's no way they didn't already have some of that somewhere. And I feel like there are more lies than we have uncovered yet. And I'll say it that way. I've been doing some research on the mud floods and stuff, and I'm going to probably be doing more research on that. That's just for personal interest, because I'm interested in it. But what's that?
Did you say mud floods?
Mm-hmm.
Haven't heard that one.
Yeah. Now, if you think about it, we were taught back in school that the Sahara Desert goes from a desert cycle to a green, lush vegetative cycle every couple thousand years, right? And that we know that the Grand Canyon used to have water because they found sea life and minerals and things that only are in the ocean right there in the Grand Canyon. So I think there's more that we haven't been told than we know. And I don't know where to find that information, because I don't know who hid it.
I don't
But
know.
doesn't stop me from looking.
Some people don't believe there were dinosaurs, and there's about 3 areas close to me where there are dinosaur tracks, and you can go and walk it in them. And I'm like, this is the first time I saw it. I was in high school, and our science teacher took us down to the river, and he said, "These are dinosaur tracks." And I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. You want to hear something crazy? In Ohio,
Look it up.
not far from us, there's a place where an original part of the ice glacier never completely melted. And it's in a swampy area, believe it or not. And there are Venus flytraps that live there around the glacier.
Huh.
That still exist.
Wow.
And that's in Ohio.
And it's
Isn't that
still a
crazy?
glacier?
Yeah.
That is crazy. Wow.
So, like I said, there's more things on this earth than we can possibly know. But you should always have an open mind.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're gonna pop off here, Bonnie.
Yes,
I got to get dinner going before I have a meeting at. We have a meeting at 5, so we're gonna
I'm
pop
sorry
off
I
here
kept you
now.
for hours.
What's that?
I'm sorry I kept you for hours.
Fine. You first off, no apologies needed. I want to thank you sincerely and from the bottom of my heart for coming up here and talking with me, because I really enjoyed it, and I hope that the people that are still with us did too.
I know. I forget about chat because I can't see them.
All right. Well, lots of love and light, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, or around all the places tonight. We'll see you guys.
Okay,
But thank you
for
so much.
having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming. And RD,
Love
if you're
y'all.
still
Take care.
listening, and Silver Salmon, thank you guys all for coming up. Love and light, guys.